while back I was on a plane, and when the people next to me found out what I did for a living, that I love Jesus and that I love to tell people about him, they asked me a question. They said, "What is your favorite story in the Bible?" And as I sat there, I responded, I said, "I can't tell you what my favorite story is, but next to Jesus, I can tell you who my favorite character in the Bible is." And they said, "Who?" And I said, "David." They said, "Why?" I said, "For 4 reasons. Number one, I love the fact that he was a visible worshiper. He worshiped God with his all. He didn't care who was around. As a matter of fact, his wife got angry at him because he worshiped so aggressively. He was a great king. He led that nation well. I love the fact that he was a mighty warrior. He would stand up against these huge giants and just say, I can't be beat because God's on my side. I love that kind of faith. But lastly, it says that he was a man after God's heart. That doesn't just mean that God loved him. It meant that he was after God's heart. I got to know your heart. God, I want to know what you think. I want to know what you love. God, I want to pattern my life after you. I loved it. That night as I got to the hotel room and I laid down, I started thinking about David and I realized I'm discouraged. I was disappointed because I compared David's life with mine and I realized he had all this faith and all this courage and sometimes I feel like I don't have enough. And as I laid on the bed, I said, God, why? Why is he better than me? Why did almost you love him more than you love me? And I felt like God just whispered into my heart, I didn't love him more. There was a key. And I said, God, what was the key? I felt like God said, David let me build him. And for the next couple of years, I began to explore that principle. I began to wonder, what does it mean to let God build you? What does it mean to let him shape you? Because I want him to build me. I don't want culture to shape me. And I have a phrase that has helped dictate my life, and here's what it is. God builds you in private to use you in public. All of us, our whole lives, or at least me, for my whole life, I wanted to be used by God. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to communicate love and share with people that there's a God in heaven who loved them. But I didn't think about the process, that God just doesn't launch you until he builds you. God builds you in private to use you in public. And I picture going back that God tapped David on the shoulder when he was very young and said, David, can I build you? And David said, what does that mean? And I picture God saying, if you'll spend time with me, if you'll draw away with me, I'm going to build you, shape you, mold you, sculpt you into a man that I can use. And I picture David getting all excited and say, wait a second. You want to spend time with me? The God who created the universe, you want to walk and talk with me. I can know your presence and I can know what it feels like to be in your will and to be right there with you. And he said, yeah, absolutely, God. I'll let you build me. That's the challenge that I took. Is I said, God, I want you to build me. I want you to make me. I want you to be the one who shapes me and sculpts me into the man that you want me to be. And I just want to challenge you with that today. Man, let God build you. God will build you in private to use you in public. If you don't like being alone, you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn to say, God, I'm used to distractions. I'm used to my devices. I'm used to noise. But God, right now I'm shutting it all out because I'm just going to take your word. I'm going to bring your presence and I'm going to say, God, I need you in this moment. I promise you, if you let God spend time with you, if you draw away with him, he will draw near to you and he will build you, shape you, sculpt you. He'll turn you into the man or woman that he can use in public.